Imagine this. Two students graduate from college. The first student has an 8.9 CGPA, knows three programming languages, has completed multiple certifications, and even has an internship on their resume. The second student has a 6.8 CGPA, knows only Python, has no internship, and has built just two projects. Now tell me, who do you think gets selected in IBM Associate System Engineer role? If your answer is obviously the first student, then you might be surprised. Because recruitment doesn't always work the way students imagine. Every single day, I receive messages like these. I know only Python. Can I crack IBM ASE? I don't have any internship. I have a gap year. My CGPA is only 6.5. I am from MCA. I am from a non-CS branch. And after reading hundreds of these messages, I noticed something interesting. Most students are not rejected by IBM. They reject themselves before IBM even gets a chance to evaluate them. They stop preparing, they stop applying, they compare themselves with others, and they assume they have already lost. So in this video, I am going to answer every major IBM ASE doubt honestly. I am not going to tell you that everyone will get selected because that will be misleading. But I am also not going to tell you that one weakness automatically ends your chances. Instead, I will explain what really matters, what you should improve, and how IBM typically evaluates candidates during the hiring process. And make sure you watch till the end because the last point is something that almost every student ignores, and it could make a real difference in how you prepare. Without wasting any time, let's start with the biggest question. This is probably the most common question I receive. I only know Python. Everyone else is learning Java, C++, JavaScript, React, Spring Boot. Am I already behind? My answer is no. Let me explain why. One of the biggest mistakes students make is confusing the number of programming languages they know with their actual problem-solving ability. Imagine these two candidates. Candidate A writes on his resume, Python, that's it. No Java, no C++, no JavaScript, nothing else. But he has solved over 250 coding questions. He understands loops, functions, strings, dictionaries, lists, recursion, and object-oriented programming. He can explain his logic clearly. Now let's look at candidate B. His resume looks impressive. It includes Python, Java, C++, JavaScript, C, and SQL. But when the coding assessment starts, he struggles to solve even a medium-level logic question. Now think like an IBM interviewer. Who would you trust more? The candidate who truly understands one language, or the candidate who has listed 5 languages but cannot use them effectively? The answer is obvious. IBM's coding rounds are generally focused on problem solving and implementation, not on showing off how many languages. The interviewer isn't giving extra marks because your resume contains 5 programming languages. They are evaluating how you think. Can you break down a problem? Can you write clean code? Can you debug? Can you explain your approach? That's what matters. So if you are preparing using Python, don't panic. Instead of spending the next 2 months trying to learn 3 programming languages, trying to learn 3 more programming languages, spend that time mastering Python. Learn strings, lists, dictionaries, sets, functions, hooks basics, file handling, exception handling, basic SQL. And most importantly, practice implementation based coding questions. Remember, one programming language with strong logic is always better than 5 programming languages with weak fundamentals. Now let's talk about another fear. I don't have any internship. Almost everyone applying has internship experience. Will my resume get rejected? First, take a deep breath. An internship is definitely valuable. It shows that you have worked in a professional environment, collaborated with others, followed deadlines, and gained practical exposure. But not having an internship does not automatically eliminate you. Think about it. Every year, thousands of final year students apply for jobs before they have ever had an internship. Many of them still receive offers because they compensate in other ways. So the real question isn't, do you have an internship? The better question is, what have you done instead? Suppose candidate A has a 2-month internship but can't explain anything they worked on. Candidate B has a no internship but has built 3 original projects, can explain every feature, every database table, every API, and every challenge, also every decision they made. Which candidate is likely to leave a stronger impression? In many interviews, candidate B has a clear advantage because interviews don't just look for experience, they look for understanding. If you don't have an internship, build projects that solve real world problems. For example, employee management system, inventory management system, student management portal, expense tracker, URL shortener, online quiz platform, hospital management system, etc. If you want to know more project ideas, check out in my channel. But here's another mistake students make. They build a project and then they memorize just 2 lines. I created an employee management system using Django. That's it. If I were the interviewer, my next question would be, why Django? Why SQLite? How does authentication works? Explain your database schema. And suddenly, the candidate becomes silent. That's where interviews are won or lost. Your project should not just exist. You should understand it deeply enough to explain it confidently. So if you don't have an internship, don't spend your energy worrying about what you don't have. Spend your energy building something that proves what you can do. Because a well explained project often creates a much stronger impression than a poorly explained internship. Now let's talk about probably the biggest fear among engineering students. My CGPA is only 6.5. Can I still crack IBM ASE? Before I answer this, let me ask you one question. What do you think IBM looks at first? Your CGPA, your resume, your coding skills, your communication? The answer is, it depends on the stage of recruitment. The very first thing IBM checks is whether you satisfy their eligibility criteria. If a particular hiring drive requires a minimum CGPA and you don't meet it, unfortunately you won't be able to proceed for that specific drive. But if you do meet the eligibility criteria, then many other factors start becoming important. Your resume, your coding assessment, your spoken English assessment, your technical interview, your HR interview. This is where many students make a huge mistake. They think, I only have 6.5 CGPA, so students with 9 CGPA will definitely get selected instead of me. That is not how hiring works. Let me give an example. Imagine two students. Student A has an 8.9 CGPA, but he has copied projects, weak communication, cannot explain internship, get nervous during coding, poor interview performance. Now student B has CGPA around 6.8, but has strong Python fundamentals, good communication, 2 original projects, and explains every project confidently, solves coding questions calmly. These students leave a better overall impression. Exactly. Recruiters don't evaluate only one number. They evaluate your complete profile. So if your CGPA is on the lower side, stop spending your energy regretting it. You cannot change your past semesters, but you can absolutely improve your coding, your projects, your communication, your resume, and your interview preparation. Remember, CGPA may decide whether you are eligible for a drive, but your preparation often determines how you perform after that. Now another question that many students hesitate to ask. I have a gap year. I think companies will reject me immediately. First of all, a gap year does not automatically mean rejection. It also doesn't mean the interviewer will ignore it. Most students will simply ask, can you explain this gap? And this is where many students panic. Some students say, I was just sitting at home. I was waiting for opportunities. Nothing much happened. Those answers don't create a positive impression. Instead, if your gap year included something meaningful, tell them honestly. For example, I spent this period improving my programming skills. I completed multiple projects. I prepared for placements. I learned Python and SQL. See the difference. The interviewer isn't just listening to your answer. They are trying to understand your mindset. Did you waste the time or did you use it to become a better candidate? If your answer shows growth, your gap years become much easier to explain. So don't lie. Don't create fake stories. Be honest. Show what you learned. Show what you built. And show how you improved. That's what matters. Now this section comes almost every week. I am from MCA. I am from BCA. Can I apply? My answer is simple. Always check the eligibility mentioned for that specific hiring drive, because eligibility can change from one recruitment cycle to another. Now let's talk about MCA students first. If you are pursuing MCA, you are already studying computer applications in depth. This means the expectations from interviewers is also slightly higher. They may expect you to have a good understanding of Python, SQL, IBM ASE, OOPS, computer networks, operating systems, and projects. If you are from MCA, don't think your degree alone will get you selected. Use it as an advantage by strengthening your technical fundamentals. Now coming to the BCA students. Many BCA students think, since I am not an engineer, companies won't hire me. That's simply not the right approach. Some IBM drives include BCA students, while others may have different eligibility requirements. That's why you should never assume. Always verify the official notification. And if you are eligible, prepare exactly like everyone else does. Coding doesn't know whether you are from BTech, MCA or BCA. The coding question is the same for everyone. The interview questions are almost the same. The opportunity depends on preparation, not assumptions. Don't reject yourself before reading the eligibility. Now let's answer one of the biggest fears. I am from mechanical engineering. I am from civil. I am from electrical. I am not from computer science background. Can I still crack IBM Associate System Engineering role? My answer is don't reject yourself before checking the eligibility. Every IBM hiring drive is different. Some drives are open only for computer science related branches. Some include IT, some include MCA, and some off-campus drives allow multiple engineering branches. That's why the first thing you should always do is read the official eligibility criteria. But let's assume you are eligible. Now many students think the interviewers will definitely prefer a computer science student over me. Not necessarily. Think from the interviewer's perspective. If two students are sitting in front of them, one is from computer science but cannot explain a single project properly. The other is from mechanical engineering but has learned Python, built to solid projects, understands SQL, explains every answer confidently, and solves the coding question. Who do you think creates a better impression? Exactly. The interviewer is evaluating your current technical ability, not just the name of your degree. And yes, computer science students may have studied some subjects formally, but today almost every resource is available online. If you are willing to learn consistently, you can build the same skills. So if you are from a non-CS brand, don't waste your time thinking, I wish I had chosen computer science. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn today that improves my chances tomorrow? That mindset will take you much farther. Now let's quickly bust some myths that stop thousands of students every year. Number 1. I need to know Java, Python, C++, JavaScript and everything else. No, you need strong problem solving skills, not 10 programming languages. And the number 2 myth is, without an internship, I can't get selected. That is wrong. A well-built project that you can confidently explain is often more valuable than an internship you barely understand. Coming to the myth number 3. Only students with a 9 CGPA get selected. Absolutely not. Meeting the eligibility is important. Beyond that, your coding, communication, projects and interviews all play a role. Myth number 4. If I fail one company, I am not good enough. Every company has a different hiring process, different interviews, different recruitments. One rejection does not define your career. And the number 5 myth is, I will start preparing when IBM open hiring. This is probably the biggest mistake. By the time the drive opens, thousands of students have already been preparing for months. Preparation should start before the notification, not after it. And the number 6 myth is, I will copy a project from GitHub. The interviewer won't know it. Trust me, experienced interviewers can usually tell when someone doesn't understand their own projects. The moment they ask, why did you choose this framework? Or explain your database schema, the truth becomes obvious. Build simple projects but understand them completely. And the last myth is, there is a secret shortcut to getting selected. No, there are smarter ways to prepare, better strategies, better resources. But there is no magic trick that replaces consistent effort. Now after discussing all these doubts, let's answer one final question. What does IBM actually look for? Many students think recruiters are searching for perfect candidates. They are not. They are searching for candidates who show potential. Someone who can learn, who can communicate, who works well in a team, who can solve problems logically, who takes responsibility, who stays calm under pressure. Notice something interesting. Out of these qualities, only one is purely technical. The rest are about how you work as a professional. That's why communication, honesty, teamwork, and explaining your projects matters. IBM isn't just hiring someone who can write code. They are hiring someone who can work with people, learn continuously, and contribute to real projects. Before ending this video, I want you to remember one thing. Every day, I receive messages like, I don't think I will get selected. I don't think I am good enough. Everything else is ahead of me. But here's the reality. The students who eventually receive offers are not always the smartest. They are not always the highest CGPA holders. They are not always the ones who with the best resumes. Very often, they are simply the ones who keep preparing while others kept doubting themselves. So stop asking yourself, can I crack IBM ASE? Start asking yourself, what can I improve today that increases my chances tomorrow? Because that's the question that actually changes your future. If this video cleared even one of your doubts, make sure to like this video and share it with your friends who are preparing for IBM Associate System Engineering role. Also comment below with, can I crack IBM ASE if, and followed by your doubt. Complete that sentence with your own doubt. I will personally read the comments and help you out in getting the solution. And if you are serious about IBM Associate System Engineering preparation, don't forget to check out the complete IBM playlist on this channel. I have already covered the recruitment process, coding rounds, interviews, resume guidance, and many more topics that will help you prepare smarter. Until then, keep learning, keep improving. That's it for today. Thank you, guys.